Donald Trump's campaign is in a state of complete collapse. They are spiraling right now, and MAGA is losing its mind because last night's Madison Square Garden rally was one of the worst campaign events I have ever seen. It was supposed to be Donald Trump's closing message in this campaign. It was supposed to focus the news cycle, and it did the complete opposite. All anyone wants to talk about is the disgusting joke made by a comedian that revealed the true nature of that rally last night. It was about hate, it was about grievance, and it represented Donald Trump in a perfect way because it shows how gross his movement is. And so now his campaign is trying to combat that. They're trying to do anything they can to move the focus. And we see that with what Donald Trump just posted, an insane video on Truth Social that we are going to get into. Because it ended up backfiring, nothing is going right for his campaign. It brings a smile to my face, and we're going to get into that all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now, like I said, Donald Trump's campaign is spiraling, and it's also because Kamala Harris has seized on this moment in calling him out, and she did so right here.
Follow up to your remarks about President Trump's rally last night. Some people who watched that made comparisons between a rally that happened at Madison Square Garden in 1939 with neo-Nazis or Nazis back then. Do you see those comparisons? And can you also expand on what he said and what you said yesterday about Puerto Rico?
Donald Trump this is not new about him, by the way. What he did last night is not a discovery. It is just more of the same and maybe more vivid than usual. Donald Trump spends full time trying to have Americans point their finger at each other, fans the fuel of hate and division, and that's why people are exhausted with him. That's why people who formerly have supported Donald Trump, have voted for him, are supporting me, voting for me. People are literally ready to turn the page. They're tired of it. In terms of Puerto Rico, even when I was in the United States Senate, knowing that Puerto Rico does not have a United States Senator, I was intentional about doing what I could as a United States Senator to make sure that among my priorities, it included paying attention to the needs of the people on that island, including the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. I have announced also my plan that is about my opportunity economy writ large, but a specific target that will include a task force focused on the needs of Puerto Rico, understanding that it has very specific needs in terms of upgrading and repairing its electrical grid, what it needs in terms of investment that will be public-private partnerships. And I'm going to continue to do it. I'm very proud to have the support of folks like Bad Bunny and Jennifer Lopez and others who were supporting me before that nonsense last night at Madison Square Garden, and are supporting me because they understand that they want a president of the United States who's about uplifting the people and not berating, not calling America a garbage can, which is what Donald Trump, those are the words he has used. So there you go. I'll see you later.
I am so glad that the disgusting joke made last night will be part of Kamala Harris's closing message because it perfectly reveals what she has said over the past couple of days. She has a to-do list. She has a checklist of ways to help us. Donald Trump has a list of grievance. He's angry. He has enemies. He wants to attack. He wants to destroy. That is what he is all about. It's not about you or me. He's about himself and going after those who upset him or those who he dislikes or those who he considers the enemy from within. And the enemy from within are other Americans. That's who that comedian was mocking last night when he was talking about Puerto Rico. He was joking about, in a gross way, not even a joke, about Americans. But of course, they don't care. So now before we get into this Trump video, I think there is a clip that was reshared by the Kamala Harris campaign that I think is very timely right now. And I want to check it out right here.
Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care.
He doesn't care about you. He just wants your vote. I think that is important before we get into the video just posted by Trump because it shows the truth. They're going to try to clean up their mess in these last couple of days. They're lying to you as much as they can. Trump is saying he might eliminate federal income tax. That's a lie. This whole campaign is based on lies, and that's exactly what we see in this video right here.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She was the deciding vote for his disastrous economic agenda. They raised taxes on the middle class, and prices soared. Kamala was in charge of his open border policies, giving welfare to illegals while Americans struggle. And their weakness invited wars. Now Kamala wants to double down on failure. It's time to turn the page on Joe and Kamala's failed agenda. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower and the border secure. Now, President Trump can do it again.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Remember, Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
First of all, that video is just riddled with lies. Secondly, if you want to attribute the Biden-Harris agenda to Kamala Harris, that's great. Are you saying that pulling us out of the disaster that you oversaw during the COVID crisis, that you mismanaged, is bad? Investing in American infrastructure, that's bad. Bringing back American manufacturing, that's bad. Inflation dropping to low levels, historically low unemployment. Are you saying any of that's bad? Investments in the chips through the Chips and Science Act? What about this is bad? He doesn't know how to fix anything. If he did, he would have done it during his first administration. If he did, he would have talked about it last night. But no, that rally that this video is trying to make up for, trying to distract from, shows what Donald Trump wants to do. Talk about his grievance, complain, and attack. And that's what AOC called him out for in this clip right here.
Well, there's a couple of things. As you mentioned, this was a hate rally. Mm-hmm. This was not just a presidential rally. This was also not just a campaign rally. I think it's very important for people to understand that these are mini January 6 rallies. These are mini Stop the Steal rallies. These are rallies to prime an electorate into rejecting the results of an election if it doesn't go the way that they want. Because Donald Trump and that entire cadre of people up on that stage, Stephen Miller, et cetera, do not respect the law of the United States of America. And they either want to win this election or they are using rhetoric of taking it by force. Mm-hmm. That is what they mean, and that's what they're doing when they are inciting violence and hatred against Latinos, against Black Americans, against Americans who don't have children, you have J.D. Vance literally talking about watering down people's right to vote depending on if they can viably carry a child or not. We have to understand how unhinged this campaign has gotten.
A hate rally is a perfect description of what last night was all about, and it's what MAGA is all about. It's why it's so incredibly important to talk about this enemies from within line that Donald Trump continues to deliver, because it reflects how he feels about our country. He doesn't love America. Sure, he's a flag hugger. That doesn't mean anything. It's not symbolic of his actual feelings or his actual patriotism, which he lacks. So does the rest of MAGA, trashing Puerto Rico, saying we're a third world nation, saying that America is in decline, that we're a garbage can now. Those aren't the words of a president, of a leader. Those are the words of a complainer, like Donald Trump is, like the rest of his movement are. Angry people with angry ideas who are just focused on their enemies. And one of those angry people was called out by Tim Walz right here.
They could care less about union workers. They care about their billionaire friends like Elon Musk. Now look, there's a reason that I called the guy in a good Midwestern insult the other day. I said it because I had seen a clip, and all of you have seen it, where he and Donald Trump laughed about the idea of firing striking workers. Why negotiate with him? Just firing. That's how he thinks about you. He thinks your jobs are a joke. That's why I called him a dipshit, and I stand by it. I stand by it. He wants to make this guy the economy czar. A guy who doesn't care about his workers, doesn't care about paying overtime, laughs about your jobs, and laughs about firing you when you go on strike. That's who these guys are. And while
Can we just bring up the fact for a second that Elon Musk is the biggest government contractor in the country, always complaining about the deep state and socialism, when no one takes more socialism than billionaires like Elon Musk, who is about to get another big tax cut from Donald Trump if he's elected, that we will have to pay for? That sounds like socialism to me. Middle-class Americans giving their dollars to a billionaire like Elon Musk so he can, get a bigger yacht? Buy more houses? I don't know. Do dumb shit like buy Twitter and ruin it? That's what we're giving up our tax dollars for? That sounds like socialism to me. Type of socialism that only works for the 0.0001%. I'm glad it's being called out. And I'm glad we're also calling out Donald Trump's cognitive decline. There's so much to talk about lately. I feel like we haven't focused on that enough, but Kamala Harris is right here.
And said, I think she needs to take a cognitive test. I think Kamala should have a test because there's something missing, there's something wrong with her. Would you take a cognitive test?
Sure. I would challenge him to take the same one. But here's the thing. This is what he has resorted to, and I think he actually is increasingly unstable and unhinged, and has resorted to name-calling because he actually has no plan for the American people. But on the point of why Donald Trump is unfit to be president of the United States, don't take it from me. Listen to the people who know him best. His former chiefs of staff, most recently, 4-star Marine General John Kelly. Listen to 2 former secretaries of defense who worked for him. Listen to his national security advisor. Listen to his vice president, who have all, in one way or another, said he is unfit to be president again, should never be president again, and is dangerous. It has become clear from the people who know him best, all Republicans, by the way, who served with him in the Oval Office and the Situation Room, not to mention Donald Trump's own words, saying that he would terminate, and I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States of America.
The man is unstable. The man is unfit. The man is a disaster. Couldn't be clearer. Couldn't be clearer to anyone who watches or listens to him for even a couple of seconds. He is a disturbed individual who should be nowhere near the Oval Office. We got a couple of days to continue to make that case. I appreciate you doing it with me. And if you want to support this channel and the work we do, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, actually until next time, if you have already voted for Kamala Harris, if you've already cast your ballot, let me know in the comments. We'd all love to thank you. So excited. Now, until next time, I'll see you soon.